Alright, hi, I'm Phoebe. Welcome to whatever you want to call this, my channel, my failed one, first episode or video. Who knows? We'll see what happens. Basically, I'm just going to give you a quick introduction to who I am and why I'm here. I'm 21. Like I said already, my name's Phoebe. I've had some kind of strange stuff go on in my life, kind of not so great stuff, but I actually think that at the moment I'm doing really quite well. And the wonderful thing about that is that I feel like I can help people or just admit that stuff wasn't always great and maybe make you realize that other people are going through the same things as you, or that, you do get better. Obviously, for some people, it's going to be a lifelong struggle. For me, it's a lifelong struggle. But you learn coping mechanisms and stuff gets a little bit easier. It's probably not very helpful of me just to call them random struggles. I have been diagnosed with borderline personality disorder and post-traumatic stress disorder, so BPD, PTSD, and that's fine. All is good, because honestly, when I got diagnosed, my first counselor ever literally told me that considering what I'd been through, if I hadn't gone just a little bit, unstable, had a little bit of an adverse reaction in my brain chemistry, all of that kind of fun stuff that makes me, gives me these diagnoses, then really I would be an insane person, and probably it would be that I wasn't a good person either. Yeah, maybe you have a similar story. I don't know. But because of that, I have kind of experienced a large range of depression, anxiety, not knowing what my diagnosis was gonna be, having some people think that it was gonna be a lot worse than it turned out to be, having being put on different medications, wrong medications, struggling to getting out of bed. Honestly, I don't want to go too far into everything because you don't know me. You've not seen me before. I'm brand new here. You will be new to my channel just as new as I am. So, there you go. But, as I said, I am coping a lot better now, and I want to talk about it. Because the one thing that I've ever been able to do with any of this information has been I get to talk to my friends, I get to talk to my family, and if they're going through anything, they know they can come to me because I've been there. And now I kind of want to do that on a slightly larger scale, I guess, give the same sort of advice, same sort of understanding that I give to them to, I don't know, strangers, I guess, my new little family here, and hopefully that'll go really well. So yeah, that's my little introduction. Because I don't want to go into anything super, super huge really fast, I decided I would just start today with mala beads. Now, that might sound a little bit strange. I'm not particularly religious in any form. I do think that a lot of religions have some really worthwhile points. I just have never found one that really fits me, and I think that faith is so important to so many people, and so I take a little bit from the practices of religion to try and make my life a little bit more stable. So meditation, meditation is probably one of those really big things, and people call it all sorts of different things. So meditation can be meditation, prayer, silent thinking, um, it doesn't really matter what you want to call it. Time for yourself, communication with a higher being, communication with the universe, communication just with yourself, whatever you want to call it. Doing it is super, super good. There's a whole bunch of studies that go on to talk about that, to talk about what meditation does for your brain, how we live in a super stressed out society, and that meditation makes stuff a little bit easier sometimes, and it just lets your brain process things. There's different types of meditation. My mom, for example, she's wonderful. She does this thing called downloading, and what that means is that before she goes to bed, she will sit in silence for 5 minutes, and every single time a thought pops up into her head, she writes it down on a piece of paper, and slowly it goes to silent, and then she can go to bed. But what that means is that whatever's processing in her brain that her mind really wants to make sure that she remembers, she's got it on a piece of paper, so she can say to her mind, you know what, we're good. We don't need to think about that anymore. It's on the paper. I will remember it. So that works pretty well for her. What I want to talk about is mala beads, like I said already. So these are my mala beads. They're all sorts of different colors. I made them myself. You can make them yourself. You can get them on Amazon. You can, I'm sure 100 million stores get them. They have 108 beads, which is really, really symbolic. They also have a soul bead, so this one's not counted in the 108. And basically, you charge them with energy of good, positive thought. Now, for me, I have to put in things like, love. It's love for the universe, love for myself, love for my friends, love for my family, because when I go really, really dark, I can't comprehend any form of love. I can't comprehend people loving me, and I can't comprehend loving myself or the life that we live in. It sucks. But I try and use these. So when I made these, I was meditating. My version of meditating, which is basically just doing a nice mindfulness skill, because as you try and find a whole bunch of colors that you think works for you, that you can thread onto a piece of string, that you can organize into a nice little pattern that suits you, even if it's super eclectic like this, you might not be able to tell that there's any form of pattern there. You basically are doing something that is distracting your mind, which is wonderful, because our minds are so focused sometimes, it's insane. We just need something to distract us a little bit. Now, what my mala beads necessarily do is when I am in need of some positivity, I will, so if you can see, I don't know whether you can see here, but they have a little gap, just big enough for my thumb. Now, what that means is that I can use them kind of like a rosary, just push them down one at a time, so either you could count your mala beads, 108, over and over and over again, or what I do is use a positive affirmation. So with each bead that goes down, I say something in my head, out loud, that is all about positivity. So I tend to say, I deserve to be loved. I am loved. I am worthy of taking up space. I love myself. And then I repeat those 4 over and over and over again as I go around the 108 beads. Might seem a little bit like overkill, but sometimes you really, really, really need that push. So that's what these are for. And because I made them in a nice mindfulness, calm, loving environment, and I use them to love myself, these are super positive. So if I am beyond the point of having an affirmation, beyond the point of being able to go, everything's good, don't worry about it, babe, we're just gonna count these beads and everything will be fine, then they're just a little bit like a little comfort object just to say, okay, this is filled with love and I got it. It's good. I'm fine. Might not help everyone. Helped me. It's a very small part, but like I said, I didn't want to overload anybody today. I wanted to introduce myself and just talk about mala beads. So, feel free to comment, to subscribe. I'm hoping to put out another video if this one doesn't completely tank. And, yeah, I love you lots. You're part of the world. Bye.